the weather would be under 40 degrees. Like, he thought that if they could see his breath, it would give him away. So, like, put snow in his mouth in negative 40-degree temperature, man. That's hardcore.
But you also have to consider that while badass, a lot of this stuff, some of the things can and are possibly, not saying they are exaggerated, because there are a lot of stories about people in World War II. There are so many German stories I could tell you, and as much as I love trying to be a patriotic German and everything, American, German, Russian, it doesn't matter. A little bit of that stuff is inflated. A little bit.
Well, of course, but
he's still a badass. Don't get me wrong. He's a cool guy.
He was fighting against impossible odds to defend his home country. Because Russia said they wanted to wipe Finland off the map. How much clearer can you be? All right, that's worse.
They wanted to.
I mean,
why would they try to wipe Finland off the map?
Because
Finland used to be Russia.
No,
really?
For the most part.
How come I don't know that?
Before it was Russia.
It used to be Sweden, Russia.
Right.
It was just
Sweden, which was allied with Russia.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually Russia, but I'm just saying, like, it was owned by the Swedes. We just wanted you to have Swedish Finns in Finland.
But when it comes down to it, Russia wanted it because they wanted it to be theirs.
No, they wanted it. Yes, the excuse they gave was they were afraid that fascism would attack communism, even though fascism hadn't attacked yet. So they argued that, well, if we don't take Helsinki,
we need a Scandinavian foothold.
Then Germany will, and they'll use it to attack Moscow, even though there's nothing that could possibly, at that time point, attack Moscow from Helsinki.
The funniest thing about it, though, is
except planes.
Most other Russians aside, Stalin was actually firmly convinced that Hitler was his good buddy and would not do anything.
Well, yeah, because he signed that pact.
It's not even the pact. It's just Stalin. For some reason, Stalin, despite being paranoid, trusted of all people Hitler.
Well, he signed a pact. Yeah. But he was an idiot because when you have an opposite form of government as your neighbor, things are not going to work out. They're complete opposites.
Eric, what are your feelings about Hitler?
What are my feelings about Hitler?
Yeah.
Hi.
Are you you're doing some video, are you? Well,
yeah. So careful what you say. The whole world's going to see it.
Yes.
Whole world. That's. I don't like video or pictures very much.
Don't worry. It just happened a bunch of times. But as a German,
despite all the things you'll hear, I think Hitler personally was a political genius. He was a great speaker, a wonderful man.
Yeah,
but
man.
He was corrupted by power.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Power. He was a wonderful political man. Don't get me wrong.
Was he Jewish or not?
Was he Jewish or not?
He had some Jewish in him.
Possibly.
Right?
Possibly.
Dude,
people say he did.
Strongly debated.
People say he was half.
He was also possibly homosexual.
Crazy.
For real?
Possibly.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Well,
yes.
That's true because he was at least a
virgin. And he was an artist.
Whether
or not he was a good artist. Whether or not he was a good artist, he should have not been doing anything with the military because we know.
Well,
we know.
Did he kill himself or not?
That he's a political genius because if you read his early works, he's just psychotic. Where he calls Jews rats and he
that comes into
he has several things that have nothing to do.
That comes into his views and ethics.
Man.
He understood how to empower people when they're at their weakest. After World War I, with the Depression and all the shit that happened.
I think Hitler was used by people who knew how to do that, and they just used him because he was charismatic. But he was just crazy, man. His works like Mein Kampf, it's just completely insane. Like it doesn't have any economic theory. It doesn't have any military theory. It's just insane. Like,
well, he was also in prison. He was also in prison.
Like these people, yeah.
And I'm sure he was just mad at a lot of shit when he was in prison.
Well, I bet. But oh man, that book is disturbing. Like,
what is the book's title?
Mein Kampf. It means my struggle.
You also have to consider at the time, anti-Semitism wasn't as badly considered as it is now. But he was crazy. And he sent Germany to ruin.
Yeah.
And he was power hungry. And he was crazy. Possibly drugged up.
No, he definitely was. I mean, that's fact. He did opiates.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean,
we got your interest.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, not really. Not enough with that.
But I mean, economically, he did a lot of good because Germany.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. went from the time where they were using the marks to start fires to where the mark was a viable, even though he did kind of screw a bunch of countries over and.
Because it was something around
fascism.
It was something
it's not
around
the best system. It's not a good system, but.
It was around 60.
Dude, the morals.
I can't remember correctly, but I think it was 60 million of the country's population, which that was about the country.
Germany was only 60 millions.
That's still
no, today is like 83 million Germans.
Right, but I'm saying
something like that. It's over 80 million.
Yeah,
so I know that.
You have to understand, the U.S. at the time
was over 100
has grown more than 20 million. Right?
Yeah, now Germany has around close to 90, if not 90.
Yeah, I think it's like 80 something million.
Most of Germany was unemployed, and he took that and took the unemployment rate. It went up.
What do you think about the Pope?
Close to 100%. Say again?
The Pope. He was in the Hitler Youth. Pope Benedict?
Hey, well, compared to what some of the popes have done,
I think I'm not going to speak on religious matters.
Okay, understood, respected.
And attacked provinces around them because they had a dissension with the Pope and killed him unmercifully. Nazis not the most evil Pope we've ever had, I mean.
Dude. And he's considered the worst pope that the world ever had.
What about the pope that calls Friday the 13th?
Because of his background?
What about the pope?
Yes, and because some of his attitudes, back then.
The pope who ordered like all these people to be killed on Friday the 13th.
Because it was the freaking Inquisition.
Invaded
they were dark ages.
The pope that condoned the Spanish Inquisition. What about the pope that said, "Oh, come here, you Nazis! We love you! We love you, Nazis!
That was messed up.
We're siding with you!"
That was messed up.
I just want to tell you both right now. I want to speak. I would love to speak about all of this, but
we love the Jewish genocide.
That's a good point. The Americans were trying to warn, the Catholics and the Christians in Europe that something awful was happening in Europe, and the Pope just.
I do also want to speak on that matter. That the final solution is called the final solution for a reason. Germany. I mean, it's horrible that
what happened?
Hitler actually, did what he did to the Jews. But at first, he tried expelling them from Europe. No one would take them.
Yeah, he tried to deport them. Yes.
The U.S. would not take them.
Yeah, the U.S. took some.
While it was no country's obligation to take them.
No.
It still shows that America didn't really take interest until they knew that something was happening.
Yeah.
Because as you know, all countries do not care until they are viewed on a world scale.
Do you know who are the Jehovah's Witnesses?
By their actions.
You know the Jehovah's Witnesses?
Jehovah's Witnesses? What are they?
Well,
they
actually more than just Jews, dude. There's gypsies, gays, handicapped.
But when I say Jews,
a ton of gypsies were murdered.
Less than half of the people killed in the
Jehovah's Witnesses, they were some of the first contacts with the USA about the Holocaust. They kind of warned the ones over here of what's going on over there.
Yeah.
And then the message began to spread, and there was something horrible was happening in Germany. But they were some of the first ones who were able to send out the information, to other countries that something awful was happening in Germany.
Yeah.
And also all the groups as Adventists, they also did the same thing too.
It's just at the time you can't decide.
Well, the whole
do we side with Stalin, who killed more Jews, or do we side with Germany?
He did kill more Jews.
Well, we have economic ties with Germany because they owe Britain and France money, which owe us money. Therefore, we'll attack Germany because if we side with the Soviets, we won't get that money back, and therefore that's what we did.
Well, you also have to understand it wasn't until 1943 until the world really started realizing that something was truly going on. Up until then, it was just speculation and hate. But the world.
See, I think that's bullshit because there were concentration camps since '39.
Yes, but it was mainly inside intelligence. The governments knew, but the people didn't know. They didn't release it until around 1943. 1943 was when really everything started being found out.
Oh wow! Kind of late. Yeah,
it's kind of hard
for me
to talk about the Holocaust because my grandfather died in the Holocaust.
Oh, brother, there he comes. Say that again. What happened to your grandfather?
Yeah, my grandfather died in the Holocaust.
I was waiting for that.
Okay, and how did he die exactly?
How did he die? He fell off the watchtower.